My name is Kim Sanders, as she mentioned, and I'm the last one after hearing a lot of wonderful missions, and so I'm going to kind of blow your mind with something brand new that nobody's ever heard of, because I hadn't either until last year. And so I do want to thank Randy and Dina for having us, and for hearing all of what what God is doing in the kingdom and the way this church supports it. And so we are blessed for Lifewise Academy to be a part of this, and I'm going to attempt to tell you what this is, because I heard about this about a year ago, and I was kind of like, how in the world? So what Lifewise is it's a release time religious instruction program that is, it says up there, right, Bible education for public school students during school hours. And that is the part you're like, how is that possible? And during school hours, you'll see kind of all over their logos and everything for public school, that how is that even possible? So I'm going to chat with you a little bit about that today. First, I want to show a slide of our local team, because I do have some of our people are here. This slide before, when I edited it, just said my name as the program director, and I thought, no. As someone who mentioned earlier, like, we can't do this ourselves. First of all, I'm sort of shocked that I'm standing here talking as the program director, because that's not what I saw. And Kelly, I related to your story this time last year. I was in this place of transition going, God, what next? I don't know. And he said this, and I said, no, I don't think I'm ready, not yet. I got too much I'm dealing with going on, and he said, you're going. And so I might get to share a little bit more of that story later. But I realized my name shouldn't be up there as a program director, because in 1 year's time, and this is not even the complete list, since I typed this a few days ago, we've got even more. But Mark Miller is here. He's on our advisory board and one of my leadership team, and he is the one who told me about this ministry and called and said, I have heard this new thing out of Ohio, and I want to tell you about it, and challenged me to serve in it. So, and then also we have, I see Lynn and Jeff in the back have just come on as volunteers, and so maybe you'll get a chance to serve in some way too. But that's some of our local team. Couldn't all be here, but just thought it would be kind of fun to put the list of names up there, because it does take a lot of people to serve in this ministry. And so why we exist? We exist because there's a 1952 Supreme Court ruling that I never heard of. I wasn't born then. Close, but not quite. That says you can have released time religious education as long as it's off-school property, privately funded, and parent permission. And nobody knew about it. I didn't know about it. My 3 kids raised in the public school. I moved here in the 80s to be in student ministry, found myself in a large transition out of a student ministry directive position last year. And I've had multiple opportunities to serve on PTOs and substitute teach and be a part of all kinds of really cool things, and pretty much lived at my kids' public schools. And I thought, no, that doesn't sound right. How can that even be legal? And that is the question. So what we're doing is we are going, partnering with the schools. And we have communicated and talked with the Chief of Staff of Palm Beach County School Board. She is wonderful, by the way, to explain this. And she's well aware of it, and said, yes, legally, if the parents would like to have Bible education, and it's character-based Bible education that we're offering, they can have it. But here's the thing, the parents have to request it. So we are working on communicating with families, and we have several families in this county who have already signed up, and this is the Supreme Court ruling that says release time religious instruction that I was referring to. And so with that, we are partnering with the schools, because we aim to serve the schools. We're not going to try to pull anything away. We actually just launched our very first school in Palm Beach County 2 weeks ago, miraculously. The night before, I didn't even know if it was going to happen, but parents emailed the principal and said we would like our children to participate. So we are live at the Conservatory School on Tuesdays for this grade. It's 40 minutes a week. So what that looks like is, once we partner with a different school and we have families that they want to sign their parents up, we talk to that principal and say, what kind of time frame can we do that would be the least amount of invasive? We want to serve you and serve your school and serve the families and serve the students. We're not looking to could create difficulties. And so we have this specials rotation. That's how this first school looks like, 40 minutes a week that my middle schoolers are coming to this class. And we bus them off in a very close location, much like, I know Eisenhower is right across the street, and the church that's partnering with us at the conservatory down the road is literally in the backyard. So they go over to a church nearby that's willing to sponsor it, have a character-based Bible education class in 40 minutes, and we bring them right back to school just once a week. And so, but the reason reason that we're doing that, well, I guess I'll go on this slide too. So the idea is it's a Bible-based character education class. So each story they start, and I brought the Bible that we use, and eventually students will get. It says Lifewise, one big story Bible. Lifeway partners with Lifewise and created a curriculum, and then kind of edited this picture Bible for the kids. And when they start, if they start in kindergarten or first grade and go all the way to fifth grade, or start in sixth and go through eighth, they'll go through the story of Genesis through Revelations in that time and hear the story that this is one big story of a God who created you and loves you. And the target is students who have never heard this before. And we have 235 plus public schools in our county, and I used to know, I forgot the number of students that is, but it's enormous. And my kids were in it, so I kind of remembered like how big it seemed when you really look at that. But how many students have never had an opportunity to even go to a club or step foot in a church or hear that they're valued and loved? And the stories that we're hearing come across the nation about this are absolutely incredible. So this, what you can see now is this is a program, this started in Ohio in 2018. There was a school in Van Wert, Ohio that sort of learned of this Supreme Court ruling. And they said, oh, well, if we can do this, there's this building right across the street from this public school. Let's try to offer this. So they offered a Bible education and invited parents to sign their children up. 95% of the families in that school signed their kids up, which blows me away. And so they said, if this is a real thing, why is this not happening? He said, well, there's no method to do it. So they got this visionary who is the CEO and founder of Lifewise Academy from Van Wert, Ohio. He was a football player at Ohio State. And he said, they presented it to him, and he said, I'm in. And he created what this is a plug-and-play method. Everything from how do you get the very first signature in your county saying that you would like to see this happen, to what does it look like to communicate with the schools and the school board, to how do we get parents involved, how do we get churches and the community involved. And it turned into one school in 2019 was the very first Lifewise Academy, with the goal of being in 25 schools in 2025. We are in 35 schools. Nope, I'm sorry, 34 states. I'm blocking on them. What's the number of schools? There 44,000 students in this, and 34 states, states. And so you can see the red is all where states have live programs, and the yellow is where they're almost, and the clear is their visions. But to go from the goal of 25 to, the amount of schools and states is absolutely incredible. So that's where we are today. The other thing is just the reasons that, I don't know if we skipped that slide or not. Can you show me the next slide just in case I jumped ahead of my eyes. Where we've been, I kind of went through the history of that. For a history of locally, we created an advisory board last year, so there were literally 3 of us, sort of like with this goal of, Mark said, Mark is a pastor in the area, and he and his wife have been serving and heard about this ministry. He said, our goal is to see this in every school in Palm Beach County in the next few years. And to even have the privilege of us starting it in Palm Beach County has been pretty amazing. And so in the last year, I came on as the director. We hired our first teacher very recently. We've grown we have open enrollment in 5 schools in the county. Up in the north area is just where we're beginning. We're just tip of the iceberg right now. But we are partnering with churches to try to get volunteers and teachers and get the word out in the schools and the community. Also, we don't have time to go into all of this because I'm going to show you a big quick video at the end. But the stories coming out of the nation are just a school in Ohio with students that one student, they found out they were living out of their car, and Lifewise partnered together in the community to provide the mom with a job, a car, and to help them get a house. And so we're about the people too, and just to hear all of that's going on. And then there's another little student, they're 4th graders, I think that was in Indiana, and they had a 4th grade teacher planning meeting, a parent meeting, and they said, what is Lifewise to the teacher? Well, the teachers and staff are really not actually able to promote it. This has to come from the desire of the parents and the community. And so with this and the teacher actually said to the 4th grader, why don't you tell them what that is? And that quote on that last slide is far better if I probably read it, because I don't remember. Oh, I can't see that far. That is tiny, tiny. Maybe I could just turn this way and read it. Yeah, he just says, I'll let the students tell you. And one of the boys stood up and said, He looked at the sea of adults and boldly explained, we go to learn about Jesus and God, how to treat our friends and our family, how to be brave, but also follow the rules. And like, what a blessing that was for the parents there to hear a fourth grader say, well, you want to know what Lifewise is? I'll tell you what we learn. And so that's the idea. There are also many Christian, beautiful, amazing clubs like Youth for Christ, First Priority, the Good News Club that are meeting on campuses during the day. And the club structure is a little bit different because this is a release time Bible education that meets off campus during school hours to teach Bible classes. Eventually, we will have biblical worldview and apologetics offered to the high school students, and that will be for high school credit. High school can still take it, but won't be for credit. So there's a lot going on and a lot that we want to work with, and we are doing everything we can to partner with these clubs and not interfere, but feed them as well. Like, we have this Bible education, and your school has this club. We encourage you to go. So we are partnering with that in case that's a question for anybody else. We have flown through these slides. So I know we don't have time for questions, but we will be back at the booth. Let me just think if there's anything else that I make sure. There is so much new to this program and so many wonderful stories. In addition to all of this beginning, we have been donated 3 school buses, which was one of our hugest blessings in the last few months. In addition to, of course, starting the school and to being partnered with 5 churches locally. So God is moving in amidst something that's brand new that we're all kind of trying to figure out how it looks. But our goal is to serve students and to serve schools and to work with our community. It's not one single church, it's the whole body of Christ. So I'm going to finish with this video that I think challenges us at the end as sort of for such a time as this and what it looks like for us. And then come and see Off School Property. The documentary is being showed in theaters, I almost forgot this, on October 23rd at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss that, so come ask us about that. And that's all. I will finish with that.
As Lifewise programs continued to pop up across the country, we kept hearing similar stories from inside the classroom. Stories of kids who were amazed at how thin the Bible pages were. Kids who had never even seen a Bible. Kids late into elementary school who had never heard the name Jesus. Kids who then brought the Bible back home with them and shared it with their friends and families. And entire families reading the Bible and getting baptized together. Today, as I help serve hundreds of communities starting Lifewise programs, every week I hear story after story of how kids, families, and communities are being grafted back into the roots of the Bible. But there's more work to be done, much more. Lifewise is just a t-shirt, a tool for communities to take a hold of. And we need your help. How have you been prepared for such a time as this, to bring the Bible to public school students during school hours?